Hello, hello, and welcome to the Her Story, My Story podcast. This is your host, Abby, and your host.
Janie, shalom, family.
Shalom, everyone. Thank you for joining us again today as we have a conversation. Thank you for being a part of it. We hope that it blesses you. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe if this content blesses you. And we so very much appreciate your support. So, I just have to say I am very, very excited because at the time of this recording, what is it, May 3rd, tomorrow, I have a very special birthday to celebrate for one of my children. So I'm just really excited. Yeah, I'm very happy. I saw him today and he was out with his father getting birthday toys and having a little celebratory birthday lunch. So I was
Oh,
happy to see
nice.
him. So.
It's Jace's birthday.
Mhm. Yeah, 8
Oh,
years
I have to
old.
remember I call him tomorrow.
Yeah, and guess what he got? Well, guess what he picked out?
Something bug related.
Yep, bug Legos. They actually found bug Legos here in Kigali, Rwanda. They actually
Wow.
found them, and one of the Legos is a praying mantis, which is one of his favorite insects or bug. I don't know what the classification is. I'll have to ask him, but he was
I didn't
over
even
the
know
moon.
I didn't even know it was a difference between a bug and an insect. Seriously?
Oh, and there is a difference. And there are
Okay.
arachnids. There's all these different classifications, Janie. Everything I never knew until I had him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So what about you? Anything new and exciting?
Well, I finally finished my dream book today. And I don't know if I shared with you, I changed it, like, the book itself was getting so thick, it kinda made me feel like I was just doing too much, and the other morning, I was just laying in bed thinking about it, and I felt I didn't hear, I just felt like I should go in another direction. So, what it is, which I am very, very excited about, what it is, it's a dream journal, and I
Mm.
explain how to biblically interpret dreams by looking for the symbols in the Bible. First, I
Oh.
just with that, and then it'll be, like 30 blank pages for people to journal their dream, write the key symbols down and so on
Yeah.
and so forth. Girl, I'm excited because it's pretty. It's
Yes.
it's so much better to me than what I was doing initially. Um, and, and I even worked on my own cover this time because the last time,
Okay.
someone worked on the cover for me. Now I worked on my own cover, I love it. I tried to show Ben, but he was like, "Don't show me, I wanna see it in the end. Don't show me, don't show." So I showed Shaka and Divine, and they liked it, but I really, really like it. So I plan on when this podcast when we're finished, submitting my cover and the journal,
It's
it should
amazing.
be
I
put
don't think I've
together
ever
and
seen a
everything.
dream journal like that in the way that you're describing it. I think that's actually pretty I like the interactive piece of that. So because I'm always like, once we learn something, like how can we apply it? Or how can we utilize it in our own lives? So I think that sounds amazing. I
Right,
can't wait
and
to get my hands on it.
thank you. And let me tell you, that is so important what you just said because, Abby, I have so many of my own dreams in different books. Like, I even have pieces of paper that I jotted dreams down on. I even have recordings in my phone. I have dreams everywhere. And it's like I'm going to be using my own uh,
Yeah.
dream
I
journal as
wonder if, in your book, if they allow like, if you do a print copy, if they'll allow like, you know how sometimes in, like, a planner or a journal, they'll have, like, the back pocket? on the back of the book, but they have, like, the pocket, and you can
Oh,
open it with the string. It's like a little flap just to, like, stick. So, like, if you did write a note, like, if you were out and about
you
or
can put it
you didn't
in
have your
there.
journal nearby, you could just stick it in.
Girl, now you don't say nothing else, okay? Because I may have to try to do that before I submit everything. I see if she can do it. But yeah, that would be good because you might wanna save something till later,
Yeah.
till you get the time. And me, when I write, in a book, for instance, I like it to be neat. I like it to be pretty. So I may
Mm,
down something somewhere else, first, like record it somewhere else first and get it right in my head and then I rewrite it. So,
mm,
yeah, for people who like to do stuff like that, that would be good too. 'Cause
yeah.
the book is nice and, yeah, I'm excited. So, yeah, I don't know what else to say. Next time we speak, who knows? I may Oh, I won't be able to hold it up, will I? Right, because 'cause I'm in Kigali, so I gotta buy my book and have it sent to me maybe. I already I'm already
Mm,
sending the first book to you. Maybe I'll send the
mm.
second one to you as well. Yeah, and you could bring it back for me if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh,
So,
I can't
yeah,
wait to see
that's
that
exciting.
cover photo too, the cover art. I'm curious.
Ah, I I wanna show you, but,
You don't have to
and
show me right now, it's fine, I
okay.
know. I'll be like, "Ben, don't show me until the end."
That's what yeah, he's like, "I don't wanna
I
see it."
wanna be there for the
The
official
unveiling.
unveiling.
Yes.
Yes. Oh
Well,
my
you know what?
goodness.
Another note, there's, a pretty terrible one. Um, well, it didn't start off terrible. Imma say it like this. My sister-in-law sent me, a short, a video short of a brother, Dr. Umar. You know who Dr. Umar is? I think everybody knows who Dr. Umar?
Feel like it rings a bell.
Okay. So she sent me this short that he was talking about Africa and about China being in Africa. He was just saying that the Chinese were in Africa and they are flooding Africa with cheap things, right?
Mm,
Now, there is a store here. What is it? T2000, maybe? I
mm,
think that's the name of it. They have a lot of things. It reminds me, it's not even on the level of Walmart, but I get what he's saying, right? So, and so I was just thinking when I brought this up, I was thinking about the stickers that you bought for your kids, right? And I'm
mm,
thinking that it's not just Africa.
mhm,
You know what I'm saying? Because 'Cause you're not in Africa right now,
mm-mm,
and you ordered those stickers from where you are, right? In the
mhm,
States, and you still received something that was, highly unpleasant, and that's not even a
mhm.
strong word.
Yeah.
And, you wanna expound on that a little bit?
Sure. Yeah. So talk about being just utterly disturbed. I Let me back up. So yeah, so in my preparation for coming back to Africa, I'm getting things here and there to bring back with me. And, you know, I have kids, but I'm also an occupational therapist. And a lot of the kids that I treat, they get like if they complete their work, they can pick a prize from the prize box. And, stickers are always like a big thing. And I just remember when I was in Kigali that the selection of stickers were kind of minimal to what I was used to. So I there's a online store that I purchased from based out of China. It's very popular, very familiar. A lot of people know it and shop from there just for I don't know what the rules are, so I'm not even gonna mention the name, but you can have your guesses. So sometimes I get clothes from there, sometimes I get different odds and ends, and it's popular because the prices are so cheap, right? And what I and just I wanna say this piece too, because when I was in Africa, you can also order from this company in Africa, but mind you, it's a completely different what do you like a catalog, right? The stuff like if you tell them that you're ordering from Kigali, Africa, like you have a completely different selection of things that are available for you to purchase. So
That's really
I just
interesting.
want to put that out there because even when you were talking about the Chinese products that come into Kigali, like we think in America, oh, these products are so cheap. Like you think dollar store, like the materials, you're like, oh, it's just cheap stuff. And then you go to Kigali and the material is even worse. And it's still the same price, if not more expensive. So that just kind of gives you an idea. Like the same company, but it's a different market based on where you live, right? America versus Africa.
May I
So,
interrupt you for a minute, Abby?
sure.
I think that's an important point you just made, and I'm interested to know if that if what you're getting ready to disclose is a part of the catalog of products that they provide to Kigali. I wonder if that particular thing is in there or if
Mm,
it's something you because I really don't see people getting away with that in Kigali. You know,
mm-hmm.
really don't see that, but I could see people getting away with it in the US.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I mentioned that because I feel like it's strategic. So if anybody's listening right now, I'm getting ready to share some content that is not appropriate for younger ears. And it does hint at a little bit of violence. So if that's not something that you want to listen to or hear, this is my disclaimer right now. So if you have young ears listening, this would be a good time to pop in your earbud or just listen to this at a different time. Just listen at your own discretion. So that's my disclaimer. When I was putting my order, I ordered a bunch of stickers, many, many different kinds of stickers, right? I got bug stickers, I got cow stickers, panda stickers, flowers, you know, all different kinds like that I like animal print stickers, all these different like very kid oriented stickers. And then there's a stack of stickers that I got were like little playful fruit that had faces on them. Right? Like really, really cute, really adorable pictures of just like it's almost like a felt fruit with like smiley faces. So you would have like an apple or some grapes or watermelon, like, and they're just all really cute, adorable stickers. Like you would just get a bunch of them, maybe put them in a gift bag for your kids, or like I said earlier, use it as like an incentive for getting your work done, things like that. Just very attractive for like kids, a smaller population, like a younger population. And I was going through a stack of these cute fruit stickers. And I was just kind of, just kind of going through them like, oh, that's cute, that's cute, that's cute. And then I put one down and for some reason it made me pause for a second. I said, wait, did I just see what I thought I saw? And Janie, it was this blue, like like a blue apple, almost green apple. And it was a very pleasant, smiling apple, and there was this handgun positioned in such a way that it was directed at the apple. And I kept looking at it and looking at it over and over again, like I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me. And it looked so unassuming and just it was, but at the same time I was like, wow. I kept looking at it like, wait, maybe it's pointing in a different direction. No, it's pointed at the head of the apple, and this apple is smiling. And I just was like, I was in a state of shock. And I just kept looking at it. Like I would walk away and I would come back, like, am I sure I saw this? And I ordered these from this Chinese company while I was in the US. And just now I'm just, I don't know, I'm shook because that's easily like, if somebody bought these stickers, they could easily just buy a bunch of them, unpack it, and then just methodically put them in, like, birthday gift bags or, treat bags, favors,
Right,
things like
without
that,
checking them.
and
Right,
never know that it was in that it was just unassumingly in the stack. There was no other sticker like that. And, I was talking to my husband about it, like, you really think about it, like, somebody had to create that image,
that's right,
authorize it, and put it in a
that's right,
machine so it could be mass produced.
that's right, that's right. Cause how did it get by? How did it get by any type of quality check or anything like that? How did it get by?
Yeah. So, why, how, and is it just for the American market?
Yeah, that's that's a part right there that I'm really interested to know too, like, what does the Africa catalog look like? I really
Mhm.
I had heard other things about this company, like that their clothes are full of chemicals and, other things. So I'm kinda not surprised. I'm not surprised as much as I'm just horrified. Like, when I said unpleasant, it wasn't, definitely not a strong enough word. It's horrific because
Mhm.
people who are, what do I wanna say? Young adults are being influenced to commit suicide, right? And
Mhm.
so, so just imagine how something like that could, affect a young child,
Mhm.
It's darkness, right? It's, demonic. So I'm just like, "Are you gonna write this company?" And yeah, let's see it.
So I'm trying to show this is the name of the company that is
Okay,
recruited by the larger company.
okay.
And, uh, do you think it's okay if I just spell it?
Yeah, why not? I don't think it will
So
get
I was ordering from this larger company, which, this larger company basically ships things from companies, and they're all like Chinese-based companies. And this company is spelled Huai and then Jin, and then the last two letters are capitalized. It's DZ. And they have a 4.89 rating and 16K plus sold recently, and that's just and they sell stickers. They sell all kinds of stickers. It looks like a primarily sticker, yeah, tons and tons of stickers. Just all that's all they sell, it's just stickers. So I makes you wonder.
well, I know that's the company who actually makes it, right? Now
Mhm.
the larger company that you ordered from, it was am I correct? It's a larger company that you ordered from
Mhm. That
when
I
I was
ordered it
talking about
from. Yes.
the terrible clothes and stuff?
Mhm.
So aren't they responsible too? I
Probably.
mean, I
Mhm.
would think so. Do you plan on taking any type of action, like writing them or anything?
Debating it because I go back and forth between exposing, but I also don't wanna keep perpetuating, and I don't
What do
it's
you
hard for me
mean?
to articulate because just in the same sense that to me, it's like I don't wanna give anybody an ideation,
Oh,
and especially when you have more and more younger children exposed to more and more things online. And the more you share something, the more, they're likely to see it. And I feel like this is a direct attack on our younger generation in trying to normalize something, that is
right,
truly devastating and wicked. Because it's a complete obliteration of the identity. You know, identity is everything. Like who you are as a child of the Most High. and the value that intrinsic value that you have. I think if the enemy can really obliterate your true sense of self and who you are and who Yah has created you to be, that's the ultimate end.
Well,
So that's
I
my
get
own, but I want to expose them. But then also if I expose them or if I share it, what what is that gonna do? Like what kind of
well, it puts
results is
them
that
on
gonna
blast. It puts them on blast, and I think that,
Mhm.
I mean, when I okay, so I get what you're saying, but I also think about things this way. Suppose some kid does get it. Suppose somebody doesn't look through the stickers, all those people who ordered those stickers already. Suppose somebody doesn't look through those stickers. We don't know if it's a
Mm,
one-off or if they made a bunch of them. Why would I just make one if I wanna do something wicked, right? I don't know.
mm,
I can't, my mind doesn't work that way, so I can't say. But then so not saying something is, would cause me to feel responsible if something happened to someone and I heard about it somehow.
mm,
So I'm
mhm,
glad that you mentioned the Most High because we're supposed to expose darkness, and that's exactly what that is. And like you used the word ideation. Yeah, do we just let them do what the hell they want to do?
mm,
So I'm just saying that's just another way of looking at it, right?
mm,
Ultimately, you have to make the decision, of course,
mm,
but that's just the way that I see it.
yeah,
They're doing something really horrific, and they need to. I mean, nobody's coming after them to sue them. It's just you're saying, "Yo, did you know these things were in the sticker was a part of," you know what I'm saying? Maybe they could track
mm,
that person down and remove that person if
mm,
they didn't if they're not all together, working
mm,
this thing. I
mhm,
think they may be because I don't understand how it got through any kind of quality check, safety check, or whatever
mm,
kind of checks they do, but people in China may do things differently. I don't know. I've never been to China, and I've certainly never worked for anyone, like any Chinese warehouse or anything like that. So I just think at least we could say here that this is happening, and for teachers and OTs and just parents who have children or deal with children who love to get those little stickers. Watch out for this company. Watch out.
mhm, yeah. I think on a personal note, thank you for sharing that, Janie, because I was really kind of going back and forth and wrestling with that as, someone who lost someone very close to me by the act of suicide. It's a very sensitive topic for me. And it's a very like, how do I expose these things without, you know, but I don't know. I might be just thinking too much into it because I think that I agree with you in terms of, if somebody this happened to someone else, because I am a mother and I am a teacher of young children, this is something that I would want to be aware of. And personally, it turns me off to the point that I probably would never order from this company again, the larger company, because it's not worth it. It's not
Right.
worth it. It just kind of reveals a pre-existing narrative of intent to harm
Right.
and doing it in such a way through deception and secrecy in a way where it's just really despicable. And I feel like it's already happening in America where like parents they're targeting our children in any way that they can,
Mhm.
whether it's through a Chinese company or whether it's through governmental infrastructure. Like, as soon as children turn 12, parents no longer have access to their medical records. They have to ask their 12-year-old for permission to access their medical record. They need consent from a
Mhm.
minor. from
I
their
understand
own minor that they birthed
that
out of
they're
their own
raising,
body.
that if they committed a crime, the parent would be responsible for it, you know,
Mhm.
but you can't access their health records,
And keep them
medical
safe.
records. They
Yeah.
right, right. But if they
Boy, I'm
rob a
glad I
store,
got my
you'll go
kids.
to jail for that. Goodness gracious, this world is beyond wicked, really.
Oh my gosh. I'm
And
just so
I mean,
thankful.
again, I've never been to China. Are there, I mean, we know in the United States, a lot of people have guns, almost everyone, I'm thinking today. But, China, do they allow their, citizens to just carry, like people do in the States? I know here in Kigali, no. So I just wonder about these things. So you're doing, so that really reveals that you're targeting kids in the United States, in my view.
China enforces some of the world's strictest carry laws, featuring a zero tolerance policy on firearms and severe penalties for illegal drugs or subversive materials. Civilians are generally prohibited from carrying guns, restricted to specifically authorized personnel. Strict customs security checks and baggage regulations apply at all borders and domestic transportation hubs. Interesting.
Mm,
Hmm.
mm.
And then they would make a sticker,
Right,
like,
right.
and it wasn't a toy one. It wasn't a toy. Your husband looked at it. He was like, "It's a real one. It's
Yeah,
a
he
real
said it's
one."
a real gun.
Yeah. There's no orange cap. There's no.
Yeah, that is it's outrageous. It really is, and yeah, because ultimately you have to decide. I just yeah, I don't see allowing them to just continue to do that, you know? I mean, you may not can stop them, but, something can
But at
be
least I
done.
can make other people aware.
Right, right, and which we are doing, in this podcast, but we don't have that reach yet. So there still
Mm.
may be a whole lot of people who won't, you know, get the get the message.
I'm
Ah,
just wondering. I wonder who the major consumer is for this company in America.
well, when we think about how cheap they are, I bet you
Mm.
that
Come
it's
on.
people who don't have a lot of money, okay? Generally speaking, right? So yeah, we don't even have to wonder. Black people, Latinos, maybe, you know, poor whites, I'm sure. Yeah,
Yeah, they
that's
say the youngest okay, while targeting young users, reports suggest average consumer is a 34.7-year-old woman, often looking to stretch their budget with frequent low-cost purchases. But yeah, I don't know. I can't help but think because I was listening to Minister Stephen Darby this morning. It just popped up on my
oh, were
YouTube.
you?
Yeah, I don't. I had a headache this morning, so I was just kind of taking it easy. And I was listening to some videos that Jay had shared with me. I think he shared them with you, about some coincidences, quotation marks.
Right, right.
um, and I saw Minister Stephen Darby, and I think it was the Judah. The time is now. It's from 8 years ago, but I was listening to it, and it's so relevant to today. And I just couldn't help but think, and I was thinking about that sticker, and I was just thinking about the agenda against Hebrews and
Wow.
against just like what I just feel like the world is and was working overtime to erase God's people.
Right.
So I just I'm at the point right now, like Never in my life have I ever come across something like this, and I'm just like, "This is interesting timing." So
Yeah, yeah, it is. So even does the place okay, you can another thing you could do is leave a review, right? And because
mhm,
speak have you done that already?
not yet.
Yeah,
I was talking to another person and, they were giving me some good ideas of how to word it,
yeah.
and I'm strongly considering posting the picture because I think
I
people need to
would
see it
be
because
outraged.
the
Be
image.
outraged, cause
Yes.
it is outrageous. You know, be outraged because don't girl, if I you know, yeah, because that's how they making their money and that's how you hurt those
Mm,
entities, that's what they care about.
mm, mm,
So,
mm.
yeah. So, yeah, I don't know what else to say about that one. I look forward to whatever, you do.
Mhm. It's wild. Now I feel like I gotta look through all the rest of my stickers, make sure they're good.
Mhm. Yeah, 'cause you never girl, you just never know, like, what else they might
Mhm.
have slipped in, right?
Mhm.
And I just think, the main thing is to so people can be aware. You have to it's like they're not even trying to hide it anymore. Like, they just doing
Um,
it in your face, and, so people have to be aware, like parents,
mhm.
educators, grandparents, we all have to be aware and look at whatever it is we purchase for our children and also what they're looking at. I remember when my son I know I used to get on his nerves, but when my son was a child, like and my daughter too, I read the books that they read. I read them first, you
Mm.
know,
Yeah.
and I wasn't even I mean, when my son was coming up, I didn't even know who I was, you know.
Mm.
I wasn't born again or anything. I was living in the world, but I still did that, you
Yeah.
know. It's interesting, and he's 41 years old, so look at how long ago that was.
Mm, mhm.
Right? And now uh it's even more important. Like we gotta look at what they're looking at. We have to read what they're reading.
Yeah. We really do, and we gotta stop sleeping on it. Like,
Yeah.
it sounds like you were already up on it, 40 years ago.
Well, it's probably because I was doing so much I was doing so I was so worldly back then. I think that I don't even know. Like my parents were strict.
Mm.
We couldn't just read whatever we wanted to or
Mm.
whatever. So that's probably where that came from. I
Mhm.
don't think yeah, I don't even know how to describe it, but that's just what I did.
Mhm.
And I used to not let my daughter read those Harry Potter books and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
to the point where she tried to read one. I'm sure she's read them now, she's a grown woman now. But she tried to read one and her teacher actually called me because I let her teacher know that she is not to read those books.
Man, these teachers, they be calling my parents too when I was in school. They're like, "Are you sure your mother's gonna be okay with this?" And I'm like, "Oh."
But, I
I'm like,
let her
"Oh,
know that I
I'm in high
wasn't okay.
school."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no. My daughter was, like, in the 6th grade, something like that, and I let her know I let the teacher know that I didn't approve of those
Mhm.
books. By then, I, was born again, and I knew I was more aware of the witchcraft and all that
Mm.
stuff, and I didn't want her
Mhm.
reading those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so that's why, like, long story short, that's why I decided to homeschool my kids because, on one hand, it's not easy to choose a homeschool path, like, at all. Um because you gotta make some sacrifices, like, even being in America, like, you can barely function on a one-income family, like, I had to be flexible, right? Like, even coming into Kigali, I had to be flexible where, you know, I would work in the morning and then we would do homeschool like 3 in the afternoon or 4 in the afternoon, and I just had to flip it. And it gets it's like it's hard work and it's tiring, but at the end of every day, I have this conversation in my head like, because I go into the schools and I see what they're teaching, and it's contradictory to what the Bible is teaching us, and I'm
Right,
like, "I can't chance it." I
right.
cannot chance it because the young mind is so impressionable, and I have to take he get the Most High gave these kids to me and Jason to steward, right?
That's
Like,
right.
these are our kids, but they're his kids first. And we have to be responsible for how we raise them and the information that they get, right, in their minds and in their hearts. Like, there's this one show now, I'm not perfect and I'm exhausted. So, sometimes I just will like, "Yeah, go watch YouTube, go watch, some whatever your show on Netflix." And then there came a moment where I kinda sat there and, I started watching this show that my youngest was watching, and it was all about, like, fairies and magic and stuff, but it was innocent enough, and I'm sitting there, and I just had a check in my spirit, and I was like, "No, we can't do this anymore," and I blocked it.
Right.
Like, I just blocked it from Netflix, I just blocked it, like, no one allowed to watch it anymore, and end of story, done, right? So, I'm just saying that because I'm not perfect, no one is perfect, we're doing the best that we can, but,
That's right.
every day I have to remind myself, like, "I can't sleep on this, I can't sleep on it." These kids they're the future. They're the next generation, and we need to raise them to be strong leaders. Um, we
Well,
can't be
this is
sleeping on this. I think that's what the enemy would
yeah.
want us to do, to sleep on it and then accidentally find a sticker in a stack, and mom and dad never knows about it, but we're gonna hold on to it, right? Like,
Right, and then at the right time, you know, I
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
it's part of the brainwashing. It's part of like, oh, it's okay. See, it's cute.
Mhm.
It's
It's
impressionable.
right, and like you're saying, in the States, it's way harder, I think, it's way harder to live, so a lot of parents are working 2 jobs, and that's
Hmm.
always been my story. I mean, I most of my life, I worked especially after I had kids, I had to work 2 jobs.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
and they made it that way,
Yeah.
so you wouldn't be able to raise your kids yourself, and I
Hmm.
and it
Hmm.
we do the best we do the best we can, most of us, I think, do. And then, as you grow, as you get older, you should be getting wiser. I know that's not everybody's not everybody's, situation, but you should be. Go get wisdom.
Saw this meme the other day on social media, and the meme was like, everybody is out here doing the best they can, and that concerns me.
Yeah,
Like, common sense is not so common anymore. But
right,
in all fairness, I think the system, like you said, it was created, and the system was there. It was created to facilitate anxiety, distraction, stress, exhaustion, right?
right, right.
Dysregulation, like just all of it. The system here is facilitating dependency on a governmental programming, if I can be
Mm,
so bold to say that. You think about it though, because if you have to work all these jobs to make money and you're still under the poverty line, you still qualify for Medicaid.
right,
And in order to meet those qualifications, kids have to be vaccinated. They have to go to a government funded program, which who do you think gives them their curriculum?
Right.
you know? And then even during COVID, you weren't even allowed to go in the classroom. You couldn't go in the building. You had to call them and let them know you were there to bring your 10-month-old, 1-year-old, 2-year-old, 3-year-old out of the building and bring it to you. And then you get
Wow.
pictures throughout the day of your kid with a mask on.
Mm. Mm.
I'm just this is just what happened. This is what happened and this is what is happening. So it's the system. It's strategic.
Very
I
much
mean,
so.
prove me wrong. If you think I'm wrong, please tell me. Please show me how I'm wrong.
I don't think you're wrong at all. I don't. I mean, you know, Jay and I have a couple things in common, and with the big one being that we are conspiracy theorists, like proud, proud of it.
Yeah.
Card carrying. Yeah, for real. For
I
real.
love it.
Yes. Yes. I question everything.
Yeah.
You
And
got
I think it's interesting because me being a white American, every time I speak out about stuff like this, about the conspiracies of the government, they're like, what are you talking about? And, I bring up stuff about how the government had been a disservice. And most of them, like the ones that are most obvious, are the ones that are against Black Americans. And they accuse me. They're like, "Oh, well, that's that. Oh, well, that's in the past. That's not anymore." And like, so white people have this tendency to separate themselves from the
right.
conspiracy attacks, which means they're even more brainwashed because they're sleeping. They're sleeping on it. Us? We can't be touched. What?
Yeah.
Not us.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
them over there. They're the ones. They're the target. They're the ones. Not
Yeah.
on. But
Right.
hey,
Yesterday, I don't, I cannot verify this, but of course I believe it. That's just who I am. So I heard this conversation between two senators, I think, and they were talking about taking people into slavery, right? And one of them said, "Well, we can't. The blacks are not going to go for it, like you." And he was like, "No, we're going to take the whites into slavery, right?"
uh-huh.
And and he spoke around produce, right? Getting white people into the agricultural schemes. So, for what do you say? We're told it's God's will, right? And the other guy was like, I'm not. I wish I could remember it verbatim, but I can't. But the other guy was like, well, how they're not going to go for that. He said, yes, they will if we started in the schools and and yes, at fourth grade, from fourth grade on, start teaching them that this is what they should be doing. They won't even know they're slaves, right? And then you don't get to graduate if you're a girl. You don't get to graduate eighth grade unless you're pregnant. Yeah. And you know what? Have you ever looked at that show, The Handmaid's Tale, or have you ever read that book?
Yes, I started watching it. Yeah. Oh,
I
you
read that
know.
book many, many years ago, and then shortly before we left the States, I was looking at that. I think it was on Amazon, right? And I was like, "Oh,
Uh-huh.
wow." Like,
Uh-huh.
yeah, that's what these guys were talking about, basically.
Uh-huh.
And so all these people that that think, "Oh, that's for the black people." Oh, no, no, this is for you. This is for you. The Bible says, "Those who take into captivity will go into captivity." That's just the way it has to go
Mm.
down.
Mm.
That's I was saying a bit earlier, I don't know why people don't believe the Bible 'cause we're seeing it unfold, like, oh my
They don't read
goodness.
it. No one reads it. No one reads the
Yeah,
Bible.
if they don't read it, well, that's a good reason for not believing that you don't even know what's in it, right? But how dumb is that? to
Yeah.
not even
And if you
have
wanna say,
read it.
"Yes, I read the Bible," when was the last time you opened the Bible and read it? Me, it was, like, yesterday,
Yeah.
day before yesterday. Well, I can't see that well, so I was listening to it on the audio.
Yeah,
Same
but
thing.
no, but I get it. People be like, "Oh," people have a million excuses for, for not, reading it, but they will quickly say that it's not true, that it's been
Mm,
tampered with, all these things that people, but I'm like,
mm,
the more I read it, the more I'm like, "Oh my goodness."
mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
like, this stuff is coming to pass, like, I'm looking this stuff in the face, and,
Mhm.
yeah, so anyway, that's what they were
Yes.
talking about taking white people into slavery,
Mhm.
starting in elementary school in the 4th grade. By the time the
Mm,
girls are they don't get to graduate 8th grade unless they're pregnant.
mm,
Now, what kind of wickedness is that? If it's
If
true,
it's true.
if it was a true conversation,
Mhm.
I believe it was because it just
Mhm.
fits. It just fits. Hap sent it. Hap, in fact, yeah, it was Hap who sent the conversation to me yesterday. If I
Mhm.
find it,
Send it
I'll
to me, yes. If you were to, like I think in my mind, and I feel like I can say this, but, like, if you were to, brainwash or convince, uh, people of the lighter hues, uh, if you were to persuade them sorry, I was listening to a comedian, he was like, "I see you lighter hues." I was like, "I like that, lighter hues." Um, but you would do it under the guise of the will of God
Right.
or under the guise of science,
Right.
right? Because
Right.
we wanna do things for science, yeah. They are on that train, they are on they just I don't know what else to say without saying it all, but, like, you talk about vaccines, you talking about studies, you talking about all these different things, and they can be convinced, and if you start like we were talking about, young minds are impressionable, right?
Yes,
The if they're being taught, in 4th grade that this is normal, that this is okay, that this is the way it's supposed to be, and this is what you know,
that's right. Then they're gonna
it's
get out there and, do the farm work. They
mhm.
will.
Yeah.
Not even realizing that they're slaves.
Mhm. You know what?
Out of
Talking about slaves, I wanna say this, if nobody's ever thought about it before, but I promise you that a majority of Americans are already enslaved in a different
Absolutely.
way. When you think
Absolutely.
about if you think about the institutions of colleges and universities and student loans and the hundreds
Mhm.
of thousands of dollars that people take out in government loans and they're spending 30 plus years paying it back,
Yep.
that's modern
Yep.
day slavery. I'm working
Right.
my ass off just to
And
pay you back for this
and it's only gonna
education
get
that
worse.
you provided for me.
Right. But what we're talking about is so much worse, so much
Mhm.
worse. Again, the Bible's I think the Bible I don't remember where it is, but the Bible also says that they're gonna get double. So, now if you look at the principle that we reap what we sow,
Mhm.
right? Come on, when that thing come back around, it's always worse than when you already know. It's
Yeah.
always worse. And, yeah, and I mean, can it be avoided? Well, I think it could have been, but I think people not repenting and doing more than even those who repented, you can't just say you're sorry. Reparation is necessary. So all of that, we can go down this. That's like a whole
Yeah.
cop and a whole nother conversation, right? Talking
Mhm.
about reparations and
Mhm.
how Babylon has just missed it, but that's their destiny. It's their destiny to miss it, and that's why people need to get out.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like I said, white people are sleeping.
Black
That
and
I
some
mean, that's
black
a few.
people too.
Yeah, but I just, but also we're just so uneducated and just so like even talking
Listen,
to a younger
white
generation. Like I was having a conversation. One girl was helping me out with something and she was like, "You know what's interesting?" And she started talking about World War II and how this one group of people would take black people and like breed them to make soldiers. And I was like, "Boo."
she thought that was she said that
She
was
th- she thought
interesting?
that was she thought that was just for World War II.
Oh, does she?
And I said, "Actually, you wanna know how the word MFer came about?" And I
Right.
told her, and I'm telling you, jaw open, like, and she was like,
Yeah.
"This is World War II?" I said, "No, honey, this is the span of this time." I was like, "Is it different?" And she was just like she couldn't say anything after that. She was unaware, like, just
Yeah. So many people yeah, and that's why they don't want it taught in schools, not that they was teaching that anyway,
no,
right? Not that they were
Janie, no,
teaching
they
that
weren't, and this is
anyway.
why, as a young girl, like, I'm grateful because my mother I love my mother. My mother and then, my homeschool teacher at the time, like, they were very open and honest about everything that was going on. Maybe not as to the extent of like, my mother to the extent of her knowledge and her education, but she was very open and very much like, "You need to know this, blah, 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 blah." And, my homeschool teacher who was African American, and she, I think I told that in a different podcast, in, like, 1st and 2nd grade, we did whole, like, lesson plans on Black Americans, and we did a whole lesson plan on, like, Egypt and Africa, like, so,
Mhm.
I'm just very grateful for those early on things that I learned that, the people in my life exposed me to, but still, like, in my 20s, in my 30s, I just finding stuff out, I was just so angry. I'm like, "Why are y'all lying to
You
me my whole
you
life?" And then when I came into the truth, when Jay was like, "You need to listen to this, you need to listen to this," and I was listening to Teo, and I was listening going back to my word, and just I was, like, low key just I was just really upset. I was
and
just like
this is the thing, Abby, there's so just like you learn, and are still learning and so am I, like, it's like going down the rabbit hole, it's so much stuff, right, that's been
there's
done
layers.
to my
There's layers
people,
for sure.
yeah, and, these other people, they can learn too. I mean, it's easy. You could Google it. It's easy. But a lot of white people are just like, well, it wasn't me, it was my ancestors or what. You still benefit. What are you talking about? It wasn't you. Like, it's like it's crazy. The what is it called? Is it cognitive dissonance? Is that what it is
Sure.
that?
Yeah,
Yeah, like
we can
it's
call it that.
crazy. And all of that is gonna get you to be a slave.
Mhm.
Neo.
Mm.
No, let me stop.
Mhm. No, it's no.
But,
Listen,
it's too much. It's too much. But maybe one day we could really, really dive into this. I don't know if it's today because I have a book to submit, so I can no longer chat
I
with
love
you.
it. I love it. Yeah, I
But
have boxes to throw away,
I
so
know you
this
got
is
stuff
the
to do too.
last. I just had a dumpster delivered to my house today. A 20. I wasn't planning like no, 30. I got a 30 because before I was just getting the 20 cubic yard, and I was like, "Nope, I need the 30 today because I need to throw away all the last of these boxes out of the shipping container."
Yeah,
So
just
that was
get rid of
20,
it all at one
40,
time.
70 cubic yards of trash.
Wow. Wow.
I'm gonna stretch now just thinking about it. I
But
can't
some
afford to hire anybody else to do it, so I'm gonna do it. And, my husband is
wait a
out.
minute.
I told Jay, I was like, "Jay, I wish you were here because I could just ask you to do stuff."
But wait a minute, you wouldn't be doing this by yourself? I'm
Mhm, yeah.
hiring a crew.
Hmm?
I thought some cleaning crew was coming through that,
Not to throw the trash away. So I do have a cleaning crew coming to clean my house, but I'm
whew,
also gonna yeah,
that's a
it's
lot.
okay. I'm taking a chapter out of Rhonda's book. I'm just gonna do it little by little, slow by slow. I'm gonna do what I can in the time that
There are
I
no
have this.
there are no
Hmm?
young people around you who well, I know young people are different today, but one time I know, here we go. One time when my son was, like, maybe he was 14, somewhere around that, I had no money. You heard?
Mm,
This particular day, I
mhm,
had no money, and
mhm,
we had snow. I wanna say we had about 6 feet of snow. At the time, I was living in New Jersey, and we just had this blizzard, and he
mm,
went out because he was that dude. He went out and he shoveled brought home $200. It's even before we and that was an amazing thing right there. We that was
yeah,
he brought home $200. That was an amazing thing, and, so I'm just saying that we used kids used to work like that.
mhm,
So they would walk around looking for stuff, to ways to make money, right?
mhm.
And, so I was just sharing that little story to ask you, are there no young people around in your area, or do they just not, look for ways to earn, you know?
I don't really know. There's the ones next door, but we haven't spoken in a while.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not
Gotcha.
really. I don't know. They're the only people I can think of, but it's not. We're not at the point where we can. It's not. It's not at that point right now.
Okay.
I mean, I don't mind it. Like, the only reason why I wasn't doing a lot before is because I had a procedure done and I had a 10-pound weight limit, but, I'm good for it. It it's just I look at it as a workout. Like, I'm gonna get my weight training in, and I'm gonna get my cardio up. It'll be good.
Okay.
At least that's what I'm telling myself. I don't know anybody else in the area, but I don't know. I'm just gonna tackle it and see how it goes. My brother will be here Monday. He's my handyman. He's gonna come and uh, fix the things here and there in the house. Um so he's coming for that. So I'm grateful for that. So I know he'll help me throw some stuff away if it's too heavy, I'll just ask him to help me throw it in. So
Okay. Just don't, just don't overdo it. Like you said, you did have a procedure. You don't wanna, you know,
Mhm.
undo anything
Yeah,
that's been done, so
yeah, little by little, do what I can. It'll just take me longer, but
right,
it'll be fine.
right,
Yeah.
right. Okay.
But yeah. Well, I'll let you go so you can turn your manuscript in, and I'm gonna go do my little trash thing.
Okay. Alright. Well, stay blessed, and,
Yes.
I look
And don't
forward to
forget to
talking.
call Jace tomorrow and tell him
Right.
happy birthday.
I will not forget.
Yeah. I'm thinking about staying up till midnight and I'm gonna call him at 6 in the morning. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Okay. I know you wanna be the first to call him, right?
If I can make it to midnight. We'll see after today. But all right, Janie. Well, I guess we'll end our conversation here. Thank you all for joining us. If you have any questions or comments or responses, please leave it in the comments section. We love to hear from y'all. And if you want to send us an email, you can email us at her story, my story podcast at gmail.com. And for that, we love you all. Thanks for joining. Shalom.
Shalom, fam.